The holy grail of League of Legends is the rank of Challenger. Every season, millions of League of Legends players queue up to climb the mountain of ranked, but 99% of those players will never make it to the peak. But what if I told you that there is an easier way to climb to Challenger? I have been tracking a small group of players inside the League community that have found a shortcut up the mountain of ranked. Not by scripting, not by abusing bugs or exploits, not by using some broken champion build, and not by win trading. Instead, these players have found a strategy that breaks Riot's own matchmaking system, allowing them to not just achieve Challenger, but get to Challenger with above 80% win rates. It's time for us to expose the 3 components of Riot's ranking system that these players are abusing, and understand how they're able to make their games easier than 99% of people playing ranked. For context, these accounts are absolutely insane. You might have gone on a win streak for several games, but these accounts are win streaking for 20 or 30 games, if not more. Looking at some of the highest ranked solo queue players, they do have high win rates, but it's rare to see anyone in Challenger with above a 65% win rate. So seeing these accounts in such high elo with such high win rates had me raising my eyebrow. So I decided to analyze their match histories, and I have reverse engineered their strategy. You might be saying to yourself, solo queue is a coin flip. How do these players not have inters or AFKs in at least some of their games? Well, if you're trying to make the climb to Challenger as easy as possible, the first step is to control as many variables as possible. The biggest variable being your own teammates. That's why these players strayed away from the randomness of solo queue and went to the darker side of ranked. I'm talking about ranked flex. In ranked flex, you can assemble the best team of players that you know. This means no trolls and no AFKs, just 5 teammates tryharding, eliminating the randomness of solo queue. Alright, so have 5 good players and play ranked flex. Video done. But if that was the case, then everyone in ranked flex would have these win rates, which just simply isn't true, because if you're queuing ranked flex, you will still be competing against other groups of players that are sweating in ranked flex. However, not every game is hard, as many people who queue up are just groups of friends who want to casually play ranked together. On top of that, the fact that less people play ranked flex means that the skill level at each rank is lower than solo queue, as there are less people to disperse throughout the ranks. So using the ranked flex queue means no chance of trolling teammates and going against slightly easier opponents than in solo queue. But that wasn't enough for these players. They wanted the ranked experience to be even easier and still had 2 more techniques for breaking Riot's ranking system. We all know what it's like to want to duo queue with a friend, but your ranks are too far apart to play together. That is caused by duo restrictions, a restriction that ensures players only queue with other players that are within a certain skill range of their rank. Solo queue has 9 duo restrictions, ranging from Iron all the way to Master Tier, where duo queue cuts off. But when queuing up in ranked flex, these duo restrictions begin to break down. Realizing this, Riot Games made ranked flex more designed for groups to play together regardless of their rank. So while solo queue has 9 ranked restrictions, ranked flex only has 1. The one restriction that Riot imposes on ranked flex players is that once a player reaches Master Tier, they can only queue up with players that are in Emerald and above. A small group of players have realized this and came up with a strategy to abuse these ranked flex restrictions. So here is the method. Queue up with a group of players until one account hits Master Tier. Then the rest of the group will have pre-prepared Emerald accounts just for this flex grind. This pulls the Master Tier's games down in skill, as the rest of the lobby is Emerald. The group will then win 4 games, then the Master Tier player will leave, and the Emerald players will instantly FF and lose 4 games in a row to bring their rank back down. rinse and repeat to ensure the high rank players' games are in the lowest rank they can be. If we look at this mint account on the Taiwanese server, you can see they are only Emerald 1 in solo queue, but they have a 95% win rate in ranked flex, sitting in Grandmaster. But the games they are playing are around Diamond 3 and sometimes as low as Emerald 2 in average rank. All of Mint's teammates are in Emerald, and looking deeper at their accounts, we can see that this one is only level 33, and these accounts will win a bunch of games with Mint, and then lose a bunch of games at exactly 15 minutes over and over, making sure that their ranks don't get too high. And this isn't the only example. There are many accounts across different regions all doing this strategy. These players turn the usual ranked restrictions of solo queue on their heads in flex. As the limitations are lower, they can make sure that at least 4 players in the team are always Emerald 4, bringing down the skill level of every game, making it much easier for the high rank account to climb. But that still wasn't enough for these players, because there is one last hidden system in League of Legends that can break the matchmaking even more. I have only found 2 accounts abusing this next component to make their games even easier than an account like Mint's. League of Legends has its visible Iron to Challenger ranking system, but some players may not know that League of Legends also operates on a hidden MMR system. MMR is short for matchmaking rating. This system is a number that goes up and down depending on who you win and lose against, moving independent to your actual rank. This MMR number also plays a part in how League's matchmaking system places you in games. So while these players may be Emerald in rank, they can potentially drop their MMR even lower. Most of the current groups I've looked at have not been abusing the MMR system, keeping their MMR at Emerald 4, the same as their actual rank. But then, I found one group of players that were completely tearing the ranked system apart. This was the account originally named SMLZ, hashtag SMLZ7, on the OCE server, and was the catalyst for this video back in 2024. This team was so good at this strategy, and luckily I screenshot their match histories back then. SMLZ finished second on the OCE leaderboard in ranked flex, with 116 wins and only 3 losses, a win rate of 97%. We can see the same pattern in SMLZ's teammates, winning a bunch of games and then losing a bunch of games. But this group didn't sub an Emerald account in for their losing streaks. The account they subbed in was not just Platinum, or Gold, or even Silver. The account that subbed in was Iron, but not just Iron, they were the 12th lowest ranked player on the OCE server, an account called Thoroughfy. This means these Emerald players were going from playing with the second best account in Flex to the 12th worst account on the server, back and forth and back and forth. Each loss these Emerald accounts had with this Iron account would stretch Riot's ranking system further and further, pulling their MMR and average game rank even lower than the existing limit of Emerald 4. This group had stretched the MMR system so far that by the end of the season, on each win, their LP gains were only +7. And their final loss that ended the climb was a Yuumi game where they had a -40 LP loss. So that is the strategy. Coordinate a full team in ranked flex to eliminate the randomness of solo queue. Abuse the restrictions of flex by having 4 Emerald accounts in the lobby to lower the average rank of every game, and then break the MMR system to pull the skill level down even further. All of this effort just to make one singular challenger account. The only hypothetical way I can think of to improve this strategy is to have 4 Iron accounts for each of the Emerald accounts to lose with to drop their MMR even further. But this current method clearly does work. There are many accounts doing this in ranked flex, and if you just go through the leaderboard and look at high win rate, high rank accounts, they will start to pop up. But in my opinion, this does ruin the prestige of Challenger. This isn't just about flex queue. League of Legends is a competitive game, so knowing that there are Challenger players that are insanely good at the game keeps players wanting to climb the mountain for the Holy Grail. But these players are getting Challenger without the grind. There are so many players in Ranked Flex that are actually Master Plus teams that play very well. While it is hard to make Ranked Flex both accessible and competitive, this is clearly easier than solo queue. And not just because it's Ranked Flex, but because these players are breaking the matchmaking system. As a regular player, seeing a Challenger player is something to be amazed by, but knowing that some of these Challenger players are instead abusing the ranked system rather than grinding there makes it lose its reputation. I cannot confirm if this is the case, but I could see this strategy being utilized to boost accounts to Challenger and then sell them. I think Ranked Flex should be a place for the best teams to play against each other, not for those that can break the ranked system as much as possible. But all of this is not bannable. They are using mechanics in Riot's matchmaking system. Even when they intentionally lose, they are playing with 5 players that all agree to surrender. So, should Riot fix this? Adding more ranked restrictions would make flex queue feel suffocating, as there is no hope of coordinating 5 people's ranks to all match. But if left unchecked, this strategy will continue to be abused season after season.